And hello to all of you out there in Twitchland. It's like us and hi, hun. So I will introduce myself. I can't even do this. Hi, I'm our humble DM Charlie. Welcome back to Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frostmaiden, a Twitch experiment. We were off last week. Happy Halloween. I hope you all had a wonderful haul and nobody went into any sort of sugar comas. I will introduce the guys starting down there in the bottom left-hand corner, our good friend, Chuck.
Hey guys, I'm Chuck. I'm playing Phineas Finn, the ill-tempered cleric.
Thank you very much.
Happy
Oh, wait, we
today.
actually have some viewers in there. Looks like Asking Bart. Hi, Asking Bart. Thank you. We were just
Hello.
lamenting that it looked like it was just going to be us watching ourselves play, which is always fun. And then Jahan, our monk, our way of the slow death monk, will not be joining us this evening, unfortunately. And next to that empty spot, we have Bill. Bill, who are you playing?
Hi, everybody. I'm Bill. I'm playing Dysol, the halfling swashbuckling rogue.
Excellent. And next to him, Forrest.
Hi everybody, I'm Forrest. I'm playing Teb, the Divine Soul Sorcerer.
Divine Soul. What is a Divine Soul Sorcerer?
Well, they're quite divine. Gives me a little bit of aspects of cleric with the mage line wizard spells.
Gotcha. I'm glad I asked, because I'll be honest, I don't think I knew. Oh, that's very quiet today. All right, and last but not least, our Dragonborn, Johnny. Tell us about yourself, sir.
Hello, I'm Johnny. I am playing Teal, the Dragonborn Oath of Vengeance Paladin.
Excellent. Well, thank you to everyone for joining us. We appreciate your intestinal fortitude and your patience as we fumble our way through trying to actually be content producers. All right, so when last we were here, the party had approached the crashed Nautiloid up high in the mountains at the spine of the world, those mountains that line the southern edge of Icewind Dale. Approaching the wrecked alien form, they climbed inside where they encountered odd little xenomorphic creatures, tentacle faces, and bizarre weaponry. Combat ensued, buttons were pushed, and the whole thing blew up cataclysmically as the party fled into the snow. However, they discovered something horrible had happened. Their guide, Jax, the local who had brought their dog teams almost directly to the crashed Nautiloid, was found rended, maimed, utterly destroyed, blood and bits of frozen corpse cooling in the snow. The party heard strange noises echoing out of the darkness past the blowing gales of snow and fled quickly back north into the lowlands, heading for the safety of one of the 10 towns. They found tracks, odd, tri-toed, clawed shapes that seemed to go here and there, and thinking caution was the better course, they proceeded directly to Dugan's Hole, whereupon arriving in the town, they found a crowd of locals clustered around a small cabin, and inside, that's some very tense music, and inside, a scene of carnage had ensued. That is where we left. That is where we will pick up. Let's go to Dugan's Hole. Let's find something suitable to set the mood. Alright, here in Dugan's Hole, you stand clustered outside of the building, the cold winds blowing through the tiny shanty, the graying forms of the buildings, exposing cracks and little dribbles of light that barely pierce through the howling snow. The chill around you seeps into your clothing, and your bones and muscles ache from that fatigue of following the dogs through the snow. The locals look confused, a little worried, a little harried. Yet another problem added to their travails here in the land of eternal night. What do you discuss? How do you wish to proceed?
Is it? Can we do any investigation in the area to maybe get a better sense of what happened?
Absolutely. The locals don't seem too friendly, and the elderly woman, the human that had addressed you when you first approached, just looks at you with a stern kind of appraising expression. Something strange has happened, strangers have arrived. Maybe they know what to do. With a shrug, she nods her head into the abattoir of this tiny cottage and says, "You're free to take a look if you'd like."
I would like to look around.
Yeah, let's take a look.
All right. Go ahead and make investigation rolls. Perfect. Thank you. Finn and the Dragonborn. All right. And the Sorcerer. How about the Halfling? What is the Halfling doing?
Halfling is actually gonna go and just kind of blend in and listen around.
All right.
See if I can pick up any gossip.
All right. Dysolve kind of blends in next to one of the buildings, standing next to a pile of snow that has built up alongside of a small stack of frozen barrels that clearly haven't been moved in long months. The ice showing that they are as permanent a fixture as the foundation on which this building sits. As you look into the room, Tial, the thing that you notice most of all is that it looks as though two individuals were murdered by the count of appendages and bits of viscera. Whatever did this, it was a savage, vicious attack. As you notice, one of the victims didn't even have time to clear the chair where they sat in front of the hearth. They're back to the door. Sorcerer, you being slightly more astute, slightly more observant, you take a look through the room and you realize that the attack seemed to go through them, that maybe that wasn't the entire purpose of it. It seems like they were killed, but they didn't appear to be like fed on or messed with other than to be ended. Finn, the cleric, your observation is such is that you see that there was actually an objective. Towards the back of the small cottage next to a sleeping cot, you see almost uncharacteristically is a small chest about the size of a bread box that has been thrown open and sits there amongst the cooling blood. However, it is not spattered except for what would have happened maybe incidentally while whatever it was going through the chest.
I would like to look at the chest a little bit more closely.
All right, you take a look at the chest and you see that the interior of the box, somebody has laid a piece of soft fabric in it, and there is an odd, almost purplish granular salt or flecks of sand. It's a little unusual, and as you run them in your fingers, you see that they give a slight fluorescence in the wan light that leaks in from the door behind you.
Do we notice any tracks?
Excellent. Let's see. I will ask for a second investigation.
Yes.
All right. Finn, you notice that up on the wall, maybe a foot and a half up, kind of behind some moved furniture that had been pushed out of the way in the scrum, in the attack. You see that just the very tips of what looked to be like those 3 toes that kind of match what you saw in the snow, as though something kicked off of the wall and went with like speed. Just something used the wall to like kick itself and move. It's just kind of unusual. You don't see it very often, but the toes are pointed down like it planted a foot and launched.
I'll point it out to the rest of the group.
Is there any sand elsewhere, or just in the chest?
No. Just few grains, not a lot, is only
Okay.
in the chest, in that fabric, as though something had been wrapped up in there and whatever it was spilled inside the tiny box.
Does it look like it left through the main door, the entrance, or possibly out a window?
Excellent question. Yes, looking through the room, you see that one of the windows at the back is not entirely fastened and just hangs kind of loose in the casement. Hi, Mitch! Mitch is lurking.
The occupants that are, or the deceased that are in here, is this their home?
Do you ask that, or?
Yes. I will ask that.
All right. The woman who's dressed in those plain furs kind of looks like a grizzled traveler. She's like, well, they I think so. Tain't been here long, like they was passing through, but it stayed for a few days. I'd heard tell that they were going to be meeting up with someone.
Who are they supposed to be meeting up with?
Near said, rather furtive about it they was, but seemed decent folk, had coin, were able to see to themselves, kept to themselves, just a couple of wanderers, travelers, such as yourselves.
Did anybody see anyone other than these poor fellows come in and out of this house?
The crowd of 10 to 12 of the locals kind of standing around and watching, they look around and everyone's kind of shaking their head, and the woman says, can't say as we have, only discovered it for the door were thrown open and somebody glimpsed the bodies inside.
Do things like this happen often in this town?
They all look at each other and they say, well, we have troubles enough, says the woman, especially with them damn wolves that prey around the edges of the village, but no, outright murder like this bloody, this awful? Nay, I can't say as we have.
Yes, well, this was no wolves.
Ev's gonna check the window and look around it, see if he can see any tracks or trails or marks where they might have gone.
Okay. Go ahead.
I was going to ask the marks that were left behind on the wall. Do they match any kind of foot, or can we tell what kind of beast or person or what that was in here?
Yes. It matches in size and shape and count of toes the prints that you saw in the snow leading away from the crashed nautiloid. All right. Teb, as you walk outside to circle the building, go ahead and give me another investigation roll. No, the blowing wind has scoured the snow such that any sort of sign has been obliterated in the intervening time between the murder and your arrival.
Charlie, have I heard anything from any of the surrounding towns, villages outside?
Oh, thank you for reminding me. The muttering that you hear several things. One, conjecture that maybe those damn wolves are getting more, they're getting braver. They're becoming more, impetuous. Like, oh, they're finally breaking into our homes, I should have moved to Luskin when I had the chance. Things like that. You also hear one or two individuals discuss whether or not we should go out and get the fishermen off of the lake, or off of the river.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do I notice Ted come outside?
You do. You see the sorcerer come out, head down against the blowing snow, kind of looking in that one half-light of that permanent dusk, looking for tracks, scratching his head, seemingly not finding anything. Inside the cottage, what are the cleric and dragonborn doing?
I'd like to try and find a trail. I mean, you had already mentioned that we did see a trail running off into the snow. Can we get a general direction as to where it was going?
When did I mention
Or did
that?
you? So I'm sorry, I was confused. You're telling me that there was trails in the snow at the crash site. That's
Yes,
I
the
apologize.
original.
So
No problem.
is there trails leading out from the house that would match the description that you gave me?
That was what Teb was looking for, and
Okay.
with his Teb, the sorcerer was unable to find anything. And when he comes back around, what do you tell your companions? Sorcerer?
So
I tell them that I wasn't able to see anything. They might want to take a look themselves.
yeah, Finn, you want to come out here with me and maybe see if we can help the sorcerer try and track down any kind of trail that may have led from the house off in a direction that we could actually follow.
I'm willing to offer advantage, assistance. I'm slightly perceptive.
Yeah, I'll leave it
Yeah,
to the
sure.
cleric and the rogue to try and track down any kind of trails. I'm just going to kind of stay
Wisdom.
behind.
I'm only
Alrighty.
gonna give a 1 bonus though. But yeah, I'm willing to.
I'd like to take some of the powder that was in that chest and collect it.
Okay. You were able to collect the grains and put them in a small vial that you happen to have in your possession. They're odd. Again, they're purplish and they have this slight fluorescence in the light that you're not sure if it's like the shimmering that you would see with like flecks of mica or something else as you look at it in your palm. Okay, so who's making the investigation check around the building with advantage? Was that the Dragonborn?
I'm going to leave it to the rogue and the cleric, and I'm just going to follow behind.
Okay.
I'll do it.
I'll give you advantage.
All right. With that 18, you do see what looks to be a spot of snow, maybe 15, 20 feet piled up like a small berm, where it looks like there were a pair of footprints side by side, and then it just completely stops, but the snow is kind of blasted out from either side in an unusual fan pattern.
I will point that out to the group and explain that I think what we're looking for flies.
Interesting. I don't know.
Or at least jumps very far.
How big is the footprint?
14 inches across.
Pretty big.
Was anything taken? Did we determine if anything was taken from the chest?
Well, find a small open chest that has like some nice fabric
Oops.
in it, a few grains of sand. All right.
Sorry, I didn't
Okay.
mean to tag that out.
No problem.
Yes, so we can assume something was taken.
Might be an okay assumption to make.
But we at least have a direction, right? At this point.
Yes, the path. I will give it to you. The path, the way the footsteps, before they disappeared, seemed to head off towards the river, the frozen river. Oh, I'm all white down there, down by the Red Waters.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Hey, there was talk while you guys were inside. I think we need to check out the piers. Might be able to get more intel down here.
Yeah, let's head that way.
Yep. I'm in agreement. We should head down towards the river.
All
At the very
right.
least, follow the direction of the footprints.
All right, you head down to the piers, and as when you first arrived in the tiny little village of Dugan's Hole, the one that you are standing on is bumpy, like corrugated cardboard, crushed by the ice, and a pair of small ruined rowboats, like mashed up, crushed alongside of it. The other pier, the one to the southwest, still seems functional. The vessel's tied up alongside, frozen in by the ice, but the pier's still level, reaching out maybe another 30 feet into the frozen river. And as described, on either side of the woodwork, you see fishing boats, small 2-seaters, 3-seaters, little craft, pulled up and turned over and battened down against the inclement weather of the Dale.
Are there any ice fishers or anything out on the ice this night?
As you look up out onto the Red Waters, you see a handful of torches staked into the ice, easily 500 yards away from you to the southeast and, south of east. So directly, like the 5 o'clock direction from where you are on the map. And you can see small silhouettes of humanoid shapes kind of moving in between the torchlight as though they are fishermen tending to ice holes.
You guys think about heading out there and asking them if they've seen anything heading this way?
Sounds good.
Yeah, guess it wouldn't hurt.
I suggest putting some cleats on.
Yeah, I think it makes sense to ensure that we are adequately garbed for ice travel.
Alrighty. You head out onto the ice, the footing treacherous and slick. You all put crampons on, correct?
Yes.
Alright. And with that, you don't have to worry about difficult terrain. However, it is going to make the dash action out here on the ice, impossible, just because the way you have to stab your feet, your crampons, into the ice. Clear?
Clear.
Right. As you head out onto the ice and you traverse across the cracking, groaning, snow-covered sheets, you approach the first torch there in the south, and you can see a lone figure dressed in heavy hide and fur, walking slowly between 3 holes, occasionally like jigging lines up and down as he seeks the knucklehead trout.
Yeah, like to head over towards the nearest lit area.
I'm just
All
gonna
right.
make the presence known. That way it doesn't seem like we're trying to sneak up on a guy.
As you move into the torchlight, the fisherman kind of looks up and regards your shapes coming in out of the cold darkness, and then seeing that you are not bearing weapons or moving aggressively, he turns. Hey, what's that? What's that? Can I help you? You out to do some fishing?
No, sir. But how is the fishing going?
He looks at the holes. He says, "It's been better. Tain't caught nothing this whole day. Have to catch at least one if the bairns are to feed."
Well, we just we came from town. We were wondering if you saw anything strange out this way. Anything moving through.
Other than yourself, can't say I has, nay, but I've been spending most of my time, and he looks forlornly at those 3 holes that he's standing. I've been spending most of my time gazing down into the water, you know.
How long have you been out on the ice?
He kind of gives a shudder and he says, "Oh, easily most of the day, I'd say."
I see that there looks like there's several other fishermen out tonight. I can make out some torchlights throughout the darkness. Have they all been here about the same time?
Give or take, give or take. I was out before some, after others, and some have gone in. You tend to stay out until you catch your dinner, if you know my meaning.
Yes, sir.
Have you heard anything from the town? There was a somebody was injured in their home.
You don't say injured. Who was it?
One of the visitors that had just come into town. Claiming
Oh,
to be meeting up with somebody.
I know the pair. I know the pair. Was it them damn wolves again?
Doesn't appear to be wolves.
Oh,
Not
just
this time.
another damn problem. Dugan's Hole. This place is cursed, I tell ya, says the fisherman, and he kind of squints out at the torchlight. He says, "But no, I tain't seen nothing. You might check with the fisherman up over there," and he points off to the northeast.
Teb's gonna thank you
well,
and tell him
thank
to be
you, sir.
careful.
He says,
Good luck with your fishing.
I thank you rightly.
I will give the man a gold coin as I leave.
That's very dramatic. He sees you hand out the coin, and his eyes kind of crinkle with surprise, and he takes it in his mitten. He's, "Oh, might actually make the trip up to Goodmeat then." And you see him stuff it inside of his thick coat, and he bundles back up again and puts that hood on and tightens his gloves, and he kind of turns back towards the hole and leads you to it.
Ep's gonna reach down towards one of his holes and use prestidigitation and kind of warm up the water near the hole and tells him, "Good luck, sir." Heads out.
He looks at the hole, looks at you. Hey, thank you.
I'd like to head over towards the next nearest torchlit area.
All right, perfect.
Ep's gonna make their presence known. That way we don't scare somebody.
All right, you approach, and it looks to be a middle-aged woman and her mother. Their faces ruddy and bundled, bright blue eyes peeking out over the mufflers that are wrapped tightly around their faces. Unlike the first fisherman that you spoke to, these two seem to be doing better, and they have a brace of knucklehead trout laid out on the snow, easily 4 of the big fish, and they seem to be more concerned with packing it in. That's what they're discussing when you step up, than continuing fishing. They watch you approach somewhat warily, and the younger woman lowers her muffler and says, "It's pretty brave approaching somebody else's fishing holes."
Oh, we're just checking in to see how you're doing.
The old woman kind of cackles. "Checking in? Ah, that's rich. That's a first." And she walks over to a hole. The young woman steps up and, "Is there something we can help you with?" As she looks over at her mother and kind of looks back at the rogue, kind of wonderingly. "What exactly are you doing?"
We,
thank you
we
for
just came from town.
subscribing, Fruterra. We appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
Yay. Oh, we got to do a little heart thing.
We just came from town, and unfortunately there was an incident that occurred there. We're following up to see if anybody saw anything moving in this direction that seemed out of the norm.
Out of the norm, you say, and the old woman's like, "What do you mean something happened in town? Was it them damn wolves?"
No. I probably should have started with that. Indeed, it was not anything to do with wolves, though. There was a couple that was injured in their homes by something other than wolves. We think went this way.
Have you heard or seen anything?
They look at each other, and you can tell the old woman is kind of chewing on the inside of her cheek, and something passes between mother and daughter as they stand there in their fish-stained hides and winter clothing. Something it seems like they're unwilling to say to you. A detect thoughts. All right, you cast detect thoughts?
Sure.
All right. The old woman, as you ask the question, you feel that in her mind, she is remembering a shadowy form that hurriedly passed between the torchlight, between their fishing spot and the one directly to the northwest, off in this direction. And you get the sense that she brought it up to her daughter and was quickly chided down and, made to, you get a sense of kind of embarrassment with it. Like, I don't want to be called crazy again.
Deb's gonna tell her, anything you tell us may help us out. We don't know what it is. It could be something supernatural.
All right, with the 12 persuasion. The old woman looks and she points in the direction to the northwest. She says, I saw something run between the torches up over there, up to the northwest somewhat. And the girl, the younger woman, the middle-aged woman, just kind of shakes her head and, Mother, you keep seeing things. Quiet, girl. I'm sure I saw something low and fast.
About how long ago was this?
She shrugs. Not long. 20, 30 minutes.
Thank you for your help. Please be safe out there.
Thank you so much.
They both look at you kind of, okay, and they're like, absolutely. A pleasure to help. Be careful of wolves.
Thank you.
You too. Good luck with your catch. So perhaps we should move to the northwest.
Yeah, I believe we are. I was just gonna head to the next ring of lights that I saw to the northwest.
Actually, seems to be a fair number, perhaps, so we should split up. I'll head over to the northeast.
Okay. I saw you want to go with Vin?
Yeah.
Teb's gonna make his presence known to these three as they walk up, him and Teal.
Yeah.
All right.
Shout.
As you shout at them, you notice that they are 3 dwarven fishermen, clearly cut from the same stone. Obviously family. Their heads are uncovered. Their hands are free of gloves. Ice hangs from their brown whiskers and their beards, their heavy eyebrows limbed with snow and frost. You can see that of the line of holes just very neatly drilled into the ice with identical fishing setups on each of them, that they are tending almost in a very professional manner. They are very serious about what they are doing. And the one closest to you turns and says, Hey, stop it! Stop up! Hey! Oh! Welcome. Keep your voices down. Don't want to scare the catch, you know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Absolutely. We're
Might
out
we
on
ask-
the. Go ahead, Teb.
Might we ask you a few questions before we leave? You to your fishing.
Aye, ask away, as he's kind of checking the tension on the line, and he hits it a couple of times, causing a small ripple in the large hole to form.
So the visiting family in town was murdered in their homes. It doesn't appear to be from wolves, and we were told that something went out this direction. Have you seen or heard anything?
He looks at you, and his face gets serious. Murdered. That's serious. And he shouts, Grunor! You seen anything strange? And both of them still gazing down into the holes. Nope. Yeah, no fish. And they both kind of chuckle, and he turns and says, Sorry, I can't say as we have. What should we be looking for out here? And you notice his hand kind of drops to his belt where a hammer hangs at the ready.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say anything anything out of the ordinary. A beast or man fleeing from the direction of the town across the ice. We have reason to believe that the person or thing that we seek went this direction. There's a couple of women to the southeast of us that mentioned they may have seen something heading a little bit closer to your direction, running away towards the northeast.
The dwarf squints at you, and he squints off over to the torchlight in the southeast, where the mother and daughter are fishing, and he says, possible. Greta's got keen eyes. For as old as she is as a human, still a young girl by my token.
Well, if you haven't noticed anything, then I think that we'll move up to the next group of people then.
Oh, hi, Becca. Welcome.
Be safe, lords.
He nods and goes back to his work. While that is happening, Finn and Dysol, you approach the two fishermen who look to be little older than boys, teens in their late years. You notice one is squatted sourly next to the hole, kind of gazing in, a small knucklehead trout next to his hole. To the north, however, that young man doesn't seem to be paying attention to his fishing at all. Instead, he seems to be gazing at something in his hands, almost distractedly, not even aware of what's going on around him.
Can I see what's in his hand?
Give me a perception check. As you see, as he's bent over his thick mittened hands, you see something turn, and you catch the glint of purplish light coming from a crystal in his palms.
Do I recognize this to be the same color of purple that the sand was?
It is. It is also reminiscent of the same color and the crystals that you found on the Durgar on your approach into Icewind Dale.
I would like to approach him.
All right. As you approach him, your concentration is suddenly broken by a fast movement to the northwest of you out of the edge of the torchlight. And that is when you see... There we go. You see a strange insectoid creature with 4 arms and large chitinous wings come scuttling across the snow on a beeline for the boy. Stand where you are, and I am going to put us all into initiative. Oh, the initiative no working. Nope, I gotta do it the old-fashioned way. No problem. All right, go ahead and put yourself in initiative, fellas. Zoom out for...
Charlie, did you say this is considered rough terrain, or just that we can't use our dash
You
action?
cannot use your dash action.
Gotcha. Okay.
Alrighty! And let us sort. Alright, Dragonborn. You're really not aware of what's going on because Finn saw it. Dysol. Alright, Dysol, you have the initiative. Your attention is drawn to the scuttling, onrushing form that stands easily 7 feet tall, the wings reaching out. A total of 9 feet on either side, these 4 angry arms reaching out, heading for the young man who's holding that strange crystal, completely unaware of what fate has in store for him. What do you want to do, Rogue?
I'm gonna try to get its attention and shoot it in the face.
All right. The halfling pulls out a missile, knocks his bow, draws a string to his ear, and lets fly. It goes.
31.
Wow. 1931. Well, what was your stealth? Your last stealth roll?
Nat 20. So 30.
Dang. All right, comes whistling out, and you see it crack right in the hard, chitinous chest of this creature as it comes skittling forward. What else would you like to do?
I'm gonna try to step through Finn and finish if possible.
Those screams are quite creepy. All right. Teb.
I'm going to start moving towards these screams.
Okay. Perfect. All right. The creature comes scuttling forward, tearing over the snow on its clawed feet, running up to the boy. You watch its hands, the clawed arms just come out in a mowing, vicious, relentless attack. With a scream, the teenager is just ripped. Oh wait, wrong sound. We wanted the Wilhelm scream. There we go. With a scream, the teenager is dropped, his blood congealing on the snow as the creature reaches down and pulls that purplish crystal up in one of its claws and kind of holds it and regards it in what you can only assume is a victorious stance. It then turns its head, bright orange eyes regarding you. I am turning this music way more than I intended. And regards you, Finn and Dysol, and lets out an angry, chitinous growl. Cleric, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna call lightning.
You're gonna call okay. Yeah. You do that. You call some lightning.
What are you gonna call it?
Let's call it
Mr.
out
Boom.
this bug.
Okay, so you need the 60-footer.
The 60-foot.
The 60-footer. We'll make it orange. One gigantic template coming out.
Yeah.
Lot. For those of you that aren't aware, that 60-foot is the radius of the Call Lightning spell. A favorite of
Jeez.
players and anathema of DMs everywhere.
As a bonus action, I would like to, well, let's see if I can get him first. So,
Alright.
I'd like to call lightning down. It's right on him. He's already killed the kid next to him, so
Yes.
I'm not worried about it hitting the kid. dexterity saving throw
Perfect.
versus 14.
All right. Well, all the API are down, so let's do a dex save the old way. The lightning comes sizzling out of the sky, crackling and blowing up big chunks of ice, cracking, and water comes splashing up, and he takes half damage from that, correct? On a save?
On a save?
Yep, half
Yeah.
on a successful one.
So
Go ahead and roll
I need
damage.
to- yeah. So, let's see. 3d10.
All right.
So 8.
Get in here. 8 points of damage. You see the huge creature just get knocked down and then pick itself up, steam rising from the scorch marks on its carapace, as though your lightning was not as effective as you would have hoped. All right. What else have you got, Cleric?
I'll run up to it. Oops.
Alrighty.
There we go. Can you send that to the back?
Yep.
Thank you.
Hey, Ken, how many hit points do you have?
How many do I have?
Yeah, good.
Not enough. So you
Just
better get here
checking.
quick.
Alright, is that everything for you, Cleric?
Yep.
Dragonborn.
Hearing the commotion, the Dragonborn will try and get over to that area quickly.
What do I shift it and then Z? Oh, there we go. I want to do it on this one right here so you all can see it. So hopefully you can see that out there. That is the thing. Alright, what are you doing, Tio?
I just moved towards the commotion. I can only move. This is as far as I can get next to Tab.
Absolutely. Alright, we are back round to the halfling.
Halfling is going to shoot it in the face again, because that seemed to be semi-productive. With advantage, because Chuck's standing, or Finn's standing right there.
Yep.
So that would be 21.
Alright, your arrow sails out, cracking the insectoid creature once again. Finn, you hear the snap of an arrow sailing in, sizzling, and a crack, and you see the creature look in surprise at where the arrow hit, but did not puncture that carapace. What else have you got, Rogue?
I ran over here by this little boy and hid behind him.
Yeah, the teenager's looking up, and he's like, what's going on? Hey, what are you doing? Don't hide behind me, and he tries to hide behind you. Alright, sorcerer.
Tab's gonna move up and then probably try a guiding bolt here.
Yes, only the most fun spells get the 60-foot radius. One guiding bolt as the sorcerer approaches, reaching out into the weave with his natural talent. Casting the spell, it flies forth.
Nice.
Uh-oh. One moment. As that just took a dive. Happens occasionally. Alright. And that is how easy it is to get right back into it. Alright. The guiding bolt sails out, slamming into the creature, and you see as that radiance flashes up its body, it is outlined for that brief actinic flash, and you see that this is indeed some sort of large humanoid insect. The weird carapace, the chitinous scales that cover it, reflecting iridescently, some white, some black, a whole myriad of tones that seem to shift as it stands there in the changing light, reacting to that explosion of the sorcerer's magic. Alrighty. Anything else, sorcerer?
Is he holding the crystal, or did he put it up in the
Yeah, he's got it. He's got it in one of his claws.
Okay. That's it for now.
All right, the thing turns, and 3 of its arms come raking down at the cleric. Finn, your armor class is 18. Once, twice, thrice. You lift your weapon to defend yourself. The relentless assault, faster than anything you have seen before. It is all you can do to keep your guard up when one of those raking claws comes up low, ripping through your thigh and your hip bone, delivering 15 points of slashing damage as blood begins to stain your hides. And you also take 6 points of poison damage. I need a con saving throw, please. You're looking to beat a 14.
Probably not gonna happen.
Oh! You
got lucky.
feel the venom
Nice
coursing
job,
through
Claire.
your bloodstream, and your muscles begin to lock into a tense rictus. And with a force of will, you shake it off and maintain your mobility. The strange creature, however, bunches itself and launches itself high, 30 feet into the air, and then with a buzz, comes crashing down outside of the storm. Go ahead and make that opportunity attack.
I rebuked its initial attack on me, so it needs to take a dexterity saving throw.
Okay, perfect. Dex saving throw. Against your DC of 14, 15.
14.
14, okay. It made the dex save, 5 feet of you, thunder damage on a failed saving throw, half as much. Go ahead and roll the damage.
So half of 6, 3. Thunder damage.
All right. When you speak your words of power, it seems as though the creature was slapped hard, and as it is bunching itself to leap away, it kind of staggers for a second before launching itself into the air, and then those wings start buzzing and carry it out of the range of your spell. And that was -3. Okay. We're back around to you, Cleric.
Yeah, well, not much I can do now here. I will roll the dead.
All right, the cleric spins, claps his hands, and that spell comes rolling across the snow. Bong! Bong! You hear surprised shouts from the other fishermen around the fishing holes as that comes rolling out. Wisdom saving throw for the hunter. Do I need to make the map? I think there we go. Alright, want to make sure everybody can see what's going on out there in Twitchland. Alright, wisdom saving throw. Oh my goodness. Again, the beast is knocked into the snow as you see tiny bits of like mica and tiny scales come flying off of it in like a cloud of, like a dirty rug hit with a heavy broom. And the creature like picks itself up slowly after being roiled forward by your magic. Anything else, Finn?
Nope, that's all.
All right.
I'll move a little closer to it.
Perfect. Dragonborn.
I am going to continue on the path that I was taking, as I probably wouldn't have noticed that the monster moved at all. Actually, I don't even know it's a monster at this point, so 15, 20, 25,
Pretty
30.
lit up when Teb
Yeah,
hit it with that cold, with that
Guiding bolt.
guiding bolt.
Would I have seen it make a move? I mean, I guess that's going to change my course of action. Would I have seen it move to the south?
you're aware from the sounds of the combat over the wind
Okay.
and the spells going off and the fact
So
that
then
the cleric just cast Call Lightning, so there's a huge storm, crackling lightning all around. You're like, yeah, something's up.
Okay, so all I can do is move. I mean, I can barely make out his shape down here. Does that give me sight, or would I be able to see him? Could I also cast Toll the Dead? I guess is my question.
Let me see what you can see on my map.
Okay.
Yeah, on my map, it's just barely. I will let you try it, just kind of approximating, because it's not really a targeted spell. It's more of a...
Yeah. I will cast Toll the Dead.
All right, you clap your hands, and that spell comes rolling out, much like the clerics a moment before. Bong! Bong! Bong!
No radiant damage.
All right, wisdom saving throw for the creature. Once again, the creature seems to be slammed in the side by that holy magic as it just carooms into it. And the creature picks itself once again, and you notice a subtle shift in its movements, less aggressive and offensive, and more towards fleeing. Anything else, Dragonborn?
That will do it.
All right. Diceall, what do you want to do, Rogue?
Throw my rope and grappling hook and try to hook it.
Oh. God. Okay, yeah. Let's go ahead and have you do an athletics. We will do opposed athletics on this.
Athletics or acrobatics?
Acrobatics. You can use acrobatics.
Oh, wonderful.
Okay, your grappling hook sails out and manage to land around the feet of the creature, and you give a hoof, and you're quite certain that you have grappled it up with your hook. Anything else you want to do, halfling?
Jump in the water while holding the rope.
What?
There's a little hole right here.
They're ice fishing.
I know, it's very, very cold. And I'm gonna regret it later.
You're gonna regret it later. I'm regretting it now.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god. Okay. So you jump into the hole, hanging on to the rope. I need you to make a Constitution save against a DC of 17 as the shock of the water just slams into you. And the boy standing there is like, what are you doing?
Nope.
All right, you let go of the rope.
Darn it.
And it is so cold, your body just immediately seizes and you start panicking from the cold. You take 4 points of cold damage as that cold immediately assaults you, and you are in trouble. Teb, what would you like to do?
20-foot radius.
20-foot radii, right on. 120-footer, right there.
Well, it was worth a try.
I just... You Florida people. All water's warm and swimmable. Holy crap.
There we go.
Alright, the sorcerer summons up a small ball, a flaming spear that cuts a swath of light, illuming the ice and snow as it roars across the frozen river. It explodes with a massive concussion, and my poor little homebrew monster tries to make that dex save. Oh! Yes, the concussion sends the creature spilling and rolling. However, it does not seem to have killed it like you would have hoped. Oh my god. Anything else, sorcerer?
Yeah, we're gonna use meta magic and throw one more out.
Yeah, you don't begin a life as a DM being adversarial. Oh, whoops, wrong one. You want fireball! Alright, another dex save. Go ahead and roll damage for that fireball as the insect creature from Biak crap. 22. Holy crud! The second fireball comes in right on the heels of the first, landing like a 4-deuce mortar shell. The area is concussed as a massive gout of water goes skyward. The creature lets out a chittering scream as it comes spilling and rolling into the snow. Just blasted, black soot and scorch marks all over its carapace and that huge shelled back of it. Anything else, sorcerer?
Yeah, I'm gonna start moving towards it.
Okay.
And that's all I got.
All right. Yeah, there goes that. Really? Asking Bard? I have a surprise. All right. The insectoid creature leans down with a claw, tears through the rope, and you see those wings come popping out, all 8 feet of them, and they start buzzing loudly. And then the creature leaps into the sky and quickly flees to the south. Let's see. Whoops, wrong button. It has a little bit more movement as it flees the scene. Getting away from you bad guys. Oh my god, yep. You watch as the insectoid thing disappears into the dark. That gleaming shard of Charlotte in its hand. Alright, let me stop the sounds.
I'll pull dice all out of the hole.
We're gonna need to warm them up.
Well, the fireball kind of helped warm me up a little.
Oh, it
I
did
would
not.
assume.
You take another 8 points of cold damage as your companions pull you out of the fishing hole. The teenager is looking on, just horrified, back and forth, and he's staring at the bloody corpse of his fishing companion.
I look over at the teen and tell him, now's your chance to loot your buddy before anybody else gets here.
He just looks at you and he's like, what just happened?
The monster got away.
We were not quick enough.
what do you guys discuss? I would like to take this moment to welcome everybody who is watching us currently. If you haven't yet, please give us a follow. Certainly helps us out. If you like us enough, go ahead and subscribe. I also want to thank Sirenscape. Epic Games need epic sound. They are the source of all the wonderful sound effects in the background, including that wind and this music. Our tokens are by Hero Forge. Who am I forgetting? They'll be in the credits. But yeah, thank you. Check us out on YouTube if you've missed any of the episodes. They are up there, DM Charlie Gaming. So, all right, what does the party discuss? What are your plans?
We need to get Dysol somewhere warm. There we go.
Prestidigitation.
Yeah.
I can't spell that. I'm not even gonna. I
Can't say
tried.
it, so prestidigitation.
Hey, can you magic me up some warmth?
Yay! Thank you, Warrior. 3 bits. Appreciate that. All right. Yes. So you use your magic to dry the halfling and warm him up.
Great execution, Dysol. Bad follow through. Bad follow through.
Yeah, well, I was trying to. I figured if I came out of here, I could tie him up.
You were gonna make an anchor out of yourself. I saw what you were trying to do there.
Yeah. The rope got wet. It just slipped.
The young kid, he's kind of like, oh my tear. Oh no. Oh God. What? Oh, this is horrible. And then he's like, at least it wasn't those wolves.
How'd your friend get the shard?
He looks at you and he's like, what?
The purple glowy thing. How did he get the purple glowy thing?
Purple rock.
Purple.
The thing he was holding.
He looks at you, kind of wipes away some of those freezing tears off of his cheek, and he says, I think he was paid with it, that somebody paid him for it.
What do you mean?
Well, it was just him and I, and sometimes we catch too much fish, and he went around seeing if anybody in the village wanted to buy some of our extra trout, and he came back and he said that he had been paid for 3 of our trout with that bit of glowing crystal that he had. I thought it was curious. I mean, you know, a rock that casts light, that was pretty neat, but he seemed to have been paid. Yeah, that's what he said.
There are 2 dead people in town because of that rock. Would he have been part of that?
How long ago did he get the rock?
He looks over at the corpse and he says, "You don't think he killed them, do you?"
Yeah, the rock.
Well, he got it, well, he had it this morning. He got it before we went to bed. So a day ago?
Could be that there's many rocks around.
Charlie, I'm gonna look through those goggles that we have to see if there's any residue in this area. Just to check.
Nice.
Insight on the kid, just in case.
All right. Your insight, yeah, he is just a confused, late teen boy, kind of, what am I gonna do now? You can tell that if that was his best friend or whatever, that he's, like, at a loss, just kind of in shock, as it were. Dysol, sliding the dragon glass goggles down that were made for you by the gnome, you look around and you notice that the corpse over here does have like a light dusting of those same fragments, little tiny pinpricks of radiant energy that are very odd. You also notice that on Finn's glove, there are a few of the same bits of fluorescing light that are also on the body of the teenager.
What about over here where the creature bled most?
Oh, you mean to the
Uh,
south?
Yeah, if I notice that on him, I'm gonna look down to the south a little too.
You do not see that anywhere in the south. If there is,
Okay.
there's not enough concentration to actually see anything.
I'll point that out to Finn and head over to the youth to investigate.
All right. What are you looking for? And go ahead and roll your investigation roll.
I'm just gonna examine the wounds, kind of, just to see what. Just to look at the wounds because they look pretty.
They do not look pretty.
The glowy stuff looks pretty. Apparently.
The only word that comes to mind is mauled. Just the claw that did connect with the young man opened him from all the way through his bread basket, through the brisket, just ripped and opened him up and dropped him in one vicious swipe. It was over
beyond
half a heartbeat.
healing.
Very much beyond healing. His viscera have already started to cool and aren't steaming as much as he lays there in the snow. The blood blackened and freezing and already, you can tell, like, chilled.
All right. Oh, perhaps we should head back to town.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get any more information from these kids. But do you need help getting your friend back into town? I don't believe that you'd like him just to sit out and freeze on the ice, do you?
As you ask him that, some of the other fishermen come running over to lend a hand. Clearly, whoops, they went too far. Clearly concerned, and they're like, "Oh my goodness, we saw everything. What was that? That was horrible." You know, and they seem content to tend to their own. And a couple of them are like, "Oh, thank you. You know, if you hadn't have been here, you might have killed a lot of us. That was impressive magics." And you notice too that out by the other torches, the other fisher folk are starting to pack up because, you know, fireball. It kind of ruins the fishing for the day.
Fishing holes.
I'm gonna ask the group if they've ever seen a monster like that before.
The fishermen that are gathered around, no, can't say as I have. I ne'er saw nothing, just explosions and lights and that strange lightning storm. And no, I've never. And the boy is like, "I've never seen anything the like afore in my life."
Have you guys noticed anything odd in the past days, other than obviously this right here? Have you noticed any odd characters coming in and about?
One of the fishermen nods. He says, "Yeah, some about that, eh? There's a pair of strangers. Typically they continue on up trail to Goodmead. Said they was gonna stay in here. Had a meeting that was arranged. Something odd, almost clandestine like. They were supposed to meet 'em up by the Thrune Stones, south side of town, they said. And we was to keep a lookout if we seen anybody asking for 'em."
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. That helps a lot.
Have you seen any additional stones, purple stones, in town?
What's that? Purple stones?
It's a rock group.
Rock group? You mean like
Purple
the
rocks.
20 stones of truth? No. I is not seen no purple stones. Sounds right pretty, should I find one. Is it interest to you? You want it? You spend coin on it?
Sure.
2 silver bits.
Ah.
You find a purple crystal, bring it to me.
Alright then. Staying a long time in the hole, are you?
Long enough.
Alright then. They go to cleaning up the body, like kissing and muttering between themselves, like arranging a litter to move the corpse back to Dugan's hole. What do the 4 of you want to do?
Say we head towards the area that this fella told us the group was supposed to be meeting somebody at. The south side of town.
Isn't that where those people died at? That group?
Oh, it could have been. Maybe that's what they was talking about.
So you head back to Dugan's hole?
You guys want to head
We
back?
should probably head back to Dugan's hole.
Yeah.
Alright. You come off of the ice, the fishermen and women trailing behind you in their small groups, a somber cluster of them carrying the body of the young man that had been assaulted by whatever that thing was out there on the ice. With quiet nods and waves, they head off into their small, wind-blown shacks and shut their doors. A few more voices call out, giving you thanks and appreciation for being there and preventing what clearly was going to be a much bigger tragedy should such able-bodied adventurers not been there to prevent it. The old woman that you originally saw is standing on the end of the docks watching as you come in with a small clot of other locals. As you approach, she clears her throat. Is that you out there? All them spells and explosions and strange lightning going off?
The bug started it.
The bug started? What are you on about?
Pest control. There was a pest, we were trying to control it. Didn't work.
Pest control? Can one of you speak sense?
Well, the hook was working, but then the hook didn't work.
Yeah, the hook didn't work.
Addle-pated nincompoops, adventurers, the lot of you, always going on about all this. One of you, Dragonborn! What happened out there?
There was a beast of some sort that attacked a young man out on the ice, took a item that we are trying to figure out what's going on, but unfortunately I didn't get to see a whole lot of it. I wasn't as close to the action as some of these nincompoops.
A beast, you don't say? Like what? Like a great wolf or a
No,
or a wyvern or an ogre?
It wasn't like anything that I've seen, but again, I didn't get a very close look at it. The cleric may be able to help describe it a little better. The rogue was right next to it.
Yeah. Flying
it appears to be
velociraptor.
some sort of bug, large bug
A bug?
creature.
Creepy crawly, like an insect?
Yeah,
It
only
had
way bigger.
wings. It was probably about the size of a wolf.
She looks around at the snow-covered buildings, the frozen river, and she looks at the 4 of you like you are absolutely insane. Insects? In Icewind Dale? Not in the last couple years? Bloomin' idiots. So obviously
we
one of you...
believe this is the same thing that killed that couple.
Oh. Well, that's something different then, isn't it? She squeezes her bridge of her nose with her mittened hand and she says, "Oh, Edgar Dermot, if you had the coin, move south the water deep. This place is becoming too much. First the weather, then the fishing, then them damn wolves and the giants, now this. Well,
Right.
I don't have much to give you. I can stand you to some bed and board.
I think that would be a good start.
She gestures to the large building here, and she says, "That's where I live. It's more of a common house back when the fishing was good. There are rooms, and I'll see if we can rustle you up something to eat. Won't be much, probably just fish stew and hardtack, but you're welcome to it. The spot next to the fire."
That would be plenty.
Yes.
I need a space where I can tend to my wounds.
Alright then, come on. And she leads the way to the speaker's house. Once inside, she takes off that heavy coat, and you see that she is a lanky, skinny, elderly human woman who is all bone and tough sinew and tendon. Her hair is pulled back in a severe gray braid, and her face is one that brooks no nonsense, one worn hard by long years of struggle and deprivation. However, she quickly rustles up some food, bringing you a hot, fishy stew that has weird bits of dried root in it that are chewy, not much flavor, not like Iron Pan's delicious breakfast of several days ago. She hands you your bowls, gives you some hardtack, gestures to a small pony keg that sits on a table. "Help yourself." She settles down with her own bowl and starts eating. "So, who are you lot? Why are you here in Dugan's Hole, and why are you chasing strange beasties in my town?"
Well, we're passing through, and we were following the trail of something that had killed our guide, and the trail led us here.
Killed your guide? You think that thing was the thing what done it?
It certainly sounded the same. Similar tracks as well.
The wounds looked about the same.
I see. So, was the guide a friend of yours?
Oh yeah, we're close.
Oh, doing it for a friend then. But you say you're passing through. Where is you going?
We're adventurers. We adventure.
Yeah, we're just passing through the 10 towns.
I see, drawn by the stories of the unending winter of Oral's curse upon this land, and the tales of treasure and fame to be won. Is that right?
That's right.
So, would you say you're looking to help folks in need? She pierces the four of you with a pierce, gauging look.
Indeed, we are. Are you in need?
Well, quite possibly. Quite possibly. Tell me, what's something that you've done that I might have heard about? Or what's some feat of arms that lets me know that you're worth putting my money on?
Did you see that big thing in the sky a couple days ago?
What? The meteor? I saw it.
Yeah. It was a spaceship with aliens. We blew it up.
Spaceship with aliens? What are you on about?
Well, it looked like a big shell, and there were squid walking around, and he pushed a big red button, and the whole thing went boom.
Sometimes you gotta push buttons.
Yeah.
Buttons, squids, boom. How about you two shut your pie holes, eat your stew, and I'll talk to the dragon and to the cleric here. They're the only ones that are giving me good straight answers. So, what will you want to...
Exactly what happened.
Adventurers, you're all addlepated, I swear. I swear. I just... Oh, been at the good mead too long, have you? Oh, I don't know. Well, grown desperate I has, so I might as well put my trust in you if you're willing. So, there are a pair of winter wolves that have been preying on the town folk here. Times is hard enough as they is. What with the fishing dried up and us not able to get no trade through and no more mining as the river's frozen. People are beginning to starve, and then these two great brutes come out to the snows and, well, they extort what they can from us for the master and lord. It's downright terrible. Couples such as yourselves came through a while ago, said they'd deal with it. Never heard from them again. I was hoping that the two that ended up dead were gonna maybe give us a hand, but they ended up dead themselves. Seems to happen a lot. But I don't know. Don't have much to offer, but if you'd be interested, we'd greatly be obliged.
Well, while we're here, maybe you can tell us a little bit about these winter wolves.
Well, there's a pair of them. Their names are Corin and Kanan. They come and they demand treasure and food. Every once in a while they'll come skulking through the village. If you're unwary enough to be caught out by them out in the outskirts or on a street, well, not what to do but to pay them. They've killed one or two. That's why we thought it was the strangers, maybe refusing to pay, but the two of them have never violated the sanctity of our cottages, not yet, no. But you do have to go out to get food, so that's when they come a prowling.
So, how do you know their names?
They talk. Great hulking brutes, the size of horses they is. And they've introduced themselves to some of the other locals here in town.
So they're talking wolves.
So who are they getting the food for? Who's it for?
All I know is it's for their master. That's all they'll say, is for their master.
And they've never named them.
Not
You know
that
about
I've
where?
heard. Go ahead.
Do
Do you know
all
about
your
where
wolves?
where they're staying at, or where they're holing up at?
Are you listening? No, they're wolves the size of horses. I'm not gonna follow them.
Well, I thought perhaps they told you, since they seem to introduce themselves.
It's odd. Forgive my friend. We very
On a
rarely
first-name basis with these wolves.
come across wolves that are able to communicate.
Well, it is the Dale. Strange things happen. And she puts a sour look on you, Finn, and you get the sense that she does not like being mocked. That she is a serious old woman.
We would be happy to help rid the town of these wolves. We're gonna have to try and find out where they are at, though.
Says, well, sometimes if you go out to the 20 Stones of Thrun and just kind of loiter about, those two bastards will find you. That's why we avoid the place.
Perhaps
Yeah.
that's where we will head out in the morning then.
Alright, so, she excuses herself and wishes you a good rest, and Edgra Dermot, points out some threadbare blankets, enough that you can stay warm through the evening, and you all may take a long rest. You guys are just ball breakers, is what you are. Just, yeah, talking wolves. All right, are you all rested up?
All rested.
Good to go.
Okay. The next morning dawns. That cold, gray half-light, that permanent twilight of the far north. You only know it's morning because you feel rested and you hear the occasional shouts and cries of the locals. Oh, thank you, Teal. As they go about the day and you hear them outside. So, you immediately head outside of town to the 20 stones of Thrune.
Hey, Charlie, did you notice the two inspirations that Trix low-key donated earlier?
I did not. Bigfoot and mini unicorn. I gotta really. Let's see here. I'm going back through. Thank you for calling that out. Bits. Oh, inspiration. Yeah, thank you, Trix. So, could you put in chat which players they are for? So I know who gets the inspirations. I mean, you did hit buttons on this page. This pet is talking about Will's Weekend. Thanks, Trixie. Yes. Yeah, okay. But that's how it's done. Bribe your DM on his stream. Alright. We will wait for Trixie to say. So you approach the stones, the only interesting feature here in Dugan's Hold. These 20 megaliths ring in a kind of shape like a guitar pick, with a large megalith in the center. They're covered in scrawling, ornate carvings and strange runic glyphs that defy your attempts to interpret them. Unless you want to try anything else.
I mean, I would attempt some arcana, but I'm not all that proficient at it. As you can tell.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you are unable to determine anything about these stones and all the wonderful secrets and treasures and wonderful adventures that they hint to. Alright, so you are out there investigating the stones. The wind is blowing, kicking up snow in that half-light, and time passes, and you just get colder and colder. How long are you going to stay out there? Are you going to try something else?
I would look to see if there's
Campfire.
any tracks of any kind, wolf tracks.
Good idea.
Alright, the sorcerer causes a campfire to form, warming yourselves as you stand there in the lee of the stones, trying to protect yourself as best as you are able from the blowing wind. And I am checking something. Alright, searching for tracks. You go out in an ever-widening ring from the 20 stones of Thrun, and you see that there are tracks roughly to the northwest. However, you can tell that the huge dinner plate-sized paw prints are days old, frozen into the snow. They're hard and crumble easily to your touch.
Check out these stones to see if there's any markings or anything specific that might stand out on each one.
Unfortunately, as you scrutinize the stele, the megaliths, yes, all is enigma. It is outside of your understanding. You found some tracks from the northwest, heading away to the northwest.
Shall we follow him, gentlemen?
I think so. Why not? We were looking for tracks, so we found some.
And we shall follow them.
Alrighty. You head across the ice. Tundra. Oh wow! Thank you very much, Teb. Congratulations, Trix Loki. Who needs it most? Excellent question, Trix. TL currently has an inspiration, and so
Don't give it to the halfling if he's just gonna jump in holes.
Yeah,
I would say
right.
Ian needs it the most in my Friday night game.
It would just be wasted.
Not quite how that works. Crossing the tundra. Alright, we were only doing 2 hours tonight. So, hard hours pass as you march, across the crunching snow and ice, buttoned up against the cold as the wind blows, swirling around your feet. And there, in the darkness, you see a large shape. There we go. I'm going to show you this. You see what looks to be a large hill, odd and dark, with huge openings in the front of it. Zoom in
Ooh.
for everybody.
It's pretty cool.
Put you on the map here. He's a map, he's a map, he's a map, he's a map, he's a map. That's not supposed to be visible. Alright, kids, you see this large structure rising up out of the snow and tundra.
I would like to investigate. See what I can see as we approach.
All right. As you approach, regarding the entryway, you see something move in the shadows, low and hard to make out, near one of the mouths of the structure.
Dice all. Come sneak ahead. Check it out.
Alrighty. Let's catch up to you guys. And stealth.
No, your lighting is attached to Ted. That's weird.
I'm stuck to that. There we go.
Is that working for you, Johnny?
Oh, I'm trying to get. I'm like moving into where it's shadows, and it's not my circle of light isn't moving at all.
Hold on.
Yep, no sweat.
There you go. Your lantern. How's that work?
Yeah, I think that's better. Let me get it. Yep.
Okay. Yes, off to the north, you see this low shape kind of moving amid the piles of snow. Calm yourself, Dysol. Oh my god, dude. I'm just gonna walk right up and ride the damn thing. So, you can tell that whatever it is, it seems to be regarding you, and it turns its head at the halfling off to the side. You are aware that it is aware of you. We'll call it a grapple. Nothing?
Well, it is a talking wolf, supposedly, so let's go talk to it.
Yep.
It is aware of us too. Let's head up.
All right.
Yeah, I'll walk up and say, "Hail, wolf."
All right. The wolf growls low in its voice. You notice that it is limping as it approaches you, and it says, "Who are you that you have come here to Garge's home?" And he kind of looks over his shoulder into the black gaping maw of the massive structure, pensively.
We are friends of the folk in the town that you guys are, well, terrorizing. We're here on behalf of them to kind of figure out why you're doing it and to stop it.
The wolf kind of looks at you and its tongue lolls and it says, "Our master requires food. He makes us bring him food and treasure. He is a cruel master. He beats me and kicks me."
Why do you serve him then?
If we do not, he would kill us.
You seem like very intelligent creatures. Could you not just run away?
He would find us.
Well, I'm not here. We are not here to necessarily fight you, but to stop the harassment of the good folks at Dugan's Hold.
Why are you limping, good wolf?
Because I was kicked by Gargai.
And who exactly is Gargai?
Yeah, what can you tell us of him? Or her?
Gargai is a terrible, terrible, large creature, much taller than yourselves. You call them giants.
Is he here? Is the giant here alone?
He is. He sleeps inside, and his nose points into that center entrance, and he says, "In fact, he has a couple of your kind, manlings, that he intends to skin and eat for his supper." The long red tongue lolls out.
Would you wish to be freed from your master's control?
Absolutely.
If you were... Go ahead.
Were you to slay Gargai, I would head off into the wilds of the tundra with my brother, and we would live feasting on reindeer and birthing many pups. Siring
like he's
many
telling the
pups.
truth?
Say again, Teb.
Do I feel like he's telling the truth?
Yeah, he's telling the truth about feasting on reindeer and siring many pups.
If we were to get into an altercation with your master, could we have your word that you would stay out of it?
The long red tongue lolls out of the toothsome maw in what you can only assume is a laugh of assurance. Yeah.
And I'll roll insight on that. I'm not sure if I have to, but I'd like to.
All right.
If I can find it. There it is.
Yeah, sure. He's being honest. I mean, right? Horse-sized wolves, of course.
How many of your brethren are here?
Just me and my brother.
Do you have any cages that you usually stay in, or are you free to walk this whole area?
Gargai lets us roam. If not, he tethers us.
Well,
Would you be against being tethered for your own safety should we get into a altercation with your master? I would hate for him to take out any of his frustrations on you.
The wolf Kanan kind of steps back from you. I will not be tied by manlings. As you will. If I am free or not, it is no matter. But as I said, our lord and master has two of your pack and intends to eat them. If I am freed of his ministrations, so much the better.
Point me in the direction of your master, please.
The nose turns towards the center hallway once again.
Gentlemen, you want to go free these wolves of their dictator?
Not unless the wolves are going to help us. We'll back them up, but I'm not going to go in front of wolves.
let's see.
Well, I can't sit by and let good people get eaten by a giant, so
Eb's looking at this wolf's leg to see what's wrong with it, why he's limping. If there's anything visible wrong with it.
All right. Is that your insight?
that's mine still. That's my old one.
Oh, yes, it is. All right. Deb, perception. Probably just got kicked. You can't see any wound or anything, but a good solid kick from a giant would probably make anything limp.
Well, I'm gonna go into attempt stealth to the best that I can.
Eb's
All right.
going to tell the wolf that we're not going to fight his battle by ourselves, and if he wants our help, they're going to need to go first.
He looks at you, a little disappointed, and then you see him kind of get low in a stalking kind of pose and go low. Then follow me, manlings.
Where's his
And-
brother?
I would
Right here.
call, but that might wake Gargai. The wolf stalks off into the darkness.
We're going to leave a wolf behind us, guys.
No.
All right. The
What
other
is the
one,
cliff? Go
the,
ahead.
the other wolf comes stalking along, kind of haughty, head held high, kind of gazing at all of you at eye level, and you can tell that this wolf seems a little more sanctimonious, and he too kind of disappears into the back. It's as you approach into the tunnel, however, that you see something large and terrifying. You see a massive mammoth come approaching out of the coal and charge at you. No more moving,
Yikes.
Deb. You're right there. Alrighty. And because of daylight savings time and all that good happy nonsense, we were going to call an early evening tonight so everyone can get adjusted to their new sleep schedules, all that good stuff. So this is where we will leave it until next week when we are joined by the monk and we can figure out what is going on with the mammoth and the wolves and that strange bug
Hanger.
creature.
Bum,
Indeed.
bum, bum.
Yeah, let me find it. I got it right here. I know. Ah, you're so shocked. I'm so very, very shocked. Let's talk to the people out in Twitchland and thank them for being a part of what we were doing tonight. Let me go back to
Thank
Twitch.
you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, everybody.
Oh, thank you. Gonna call out some names here. Let's see. One Killer Kitten, our favorite bot, another TV viewer. Asking Bard, hi. Becca Brain, welcome back. Def B, Fruitera, have this too. Hey, thank you. Kodiak Bruja. That's a cool name. That's a
That's a
name.
new one.
Yeah, you should follow us. We're worth it, Kodiak Bruja.
Kodiak
Lana Ray,
Rich.
Nina Tella, Sir William. Small Streams DC Server. I love that guy. Sound Alerts. Another great name. Tebian, TL, Trix Loki, and War Eeyore. Thank you, all of you that are real people, for being the best part of what we do. Guys,
Thank you,
anything you want
people.
to say before we go?
I
Thanks a
just
ton,
appreciate everyone's support and hope you enjoy the campaign.
That makes two of us. I really hope someone
Yeah,
enjoys this campaign.
no, it's always a lot of fun watching the halfling jump into ice holes.
Hey,
No.
hey, hey.
Hey,
Now
hey,
you
hey.
can see where it
what,
could go wrong.
what the hell? I really, really, really kind of wondered what that was all about. Neither here nor there. All right.
Hey,
You know, it's one of those moments where you're both super proud and then like, damn.
5 seconds later.
that did not work at all.
I know.
But-
I have this great plan. I have this great
Huh?
plan.
Oh my god, we're gonna be able to keep it from flying away. And then
Oh, wait, never mind.
Yeah, unfortunately. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this week's short stream. Some interesting stuff when we pick up next week. Find us on dmcharliegaming.com if you would like to actually play in a campaign with us. I, myself, and Chuck, DM Warrior, are there. run games. We would love to see you. Big shout out to Sirenscape. Epic Games need epic sound. The attributions and link will be in the credits to follow. Big thanks to Hero Forge, who we use to create our credits, and everyone else who has helped us thus far. We appreciate it. All right, everyone, have a wonderful night, and thank you.
Happy Monday.
I,
Happy
Have a good night, all.